just last week, I had an amazing opportunity to sit down and have lunch with an ex CEO of a huge Japanese company. I obviously took this opportunity to ask as many questions, especially the ones that I find are big and complex, and the one that I find are hard to have solutions. So, welcome to Saki's Random Thoughts, where I share my recent findings, my discoveries, and share it with you in order to grow together. So, during this fun lunchtime, one of the questions that I asked him about was the future of Japan. As many of you know, although Japan is pretty cool place to visit and is full of awesome technologies and people, Japan does have a huge problem when it comes to declining population. In fact, the biggest age group right now in Japan is the people who are in their 40s and 50s who are about to retire. And compared to that, teenagers are maybe they're two-thirds of those 40, 50s, and the toddlers even less. So, what will happen to Japanese pension in the near future, and how will the Japanese economy be supported if there aren't enough any workers in the next 10 to 20 years? Although I do live in Canada, I'm still a Japanese at heart. And this problem of declining population has always been a concern at the back of my head because I keep hearing in Japanese news. And there is even a term for it called shoshika mondai, and it's basically declining population problem. So I decided to shoot this question to that ex CEO and see how he answers. Well, his answer was extremely interesting and eye opening. He said, I'm not worried about the Japanese future. I don't think the problem is in the quantity, but rather the quality. It doesn't matter how many people we have in our country if they're all dummies. The future lies in the education and the mentality of our children. Wow. I was shocked, at the same time fascinated, because I never thought about it that way. And the news never presented the problem in that way. What we've been focusing on was how to make sure that the people in Japan gets married and get more kids, and not necessarily on how to raise those kids. So even I got even more curious, and I had a follow-up question, which was, well, in that case, what should be taught to children in order to ensure the Japanese future? And he answered by saying one simple word, which was accountability. To be more precise, self accountability. He said, I raised three sons at the best to the best of my capability, my ability, and focused on self accountability. To and he made sure that they were able to make the decisions themselves and follow through with actions. If they came to and he said if they came to me for advice, I would talk about different options with them, but I told them that at the end of the day, they are the one making the decisions. And it's quite easy to be accountable for something that others are expecting because we don't want to disappoint them, so we will work extra hard to satisfy them. But how about for ourselves? Do you let other people decide what you want to do with your life? Or do you decide? And most importantly, do you follow through on your decisions with actions? Thank you for listening to my random thoughts.